For example, this example, I can ask this question and you present this way.
Okay.
That's number one. Okay, for example, all of you, I show that. If you like to use the function, you use this function, y equal. So that you enter the formula for the function. After you enter the formula, you see, and after having entered the formula, you see that you graph, you enter the graph. Okay, that is the graph. And you see that that's only from 5. Okay, if you like, you can zoom. You can zoom to see. Okay, now you zoom in. Okay, you zoom in,
There's also another way where you can isolate.
Yeah, you can, it means that you can change the window if you like. Okay, you can window so that you see. This means what? We can check that it's good for what we calculate. This means that do we have any point out of this? Okay, so that we can have another example with this graphing. Okay, function. You have a two piece separate by the value of x equal 1. Okay, now x equal 1 here. Okay, now you consider it's number 1. And if x equal greater or equal, you have negative 5. So that is you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that this. So that here. Okay, that's the graph. But this graph, x equal negative 5 only when x greater than or equal 1. So that you point this. Okay, that's the first. And the second one. Okay, what is the second one? The second one is a line. But this line only apply when x less than 1. Okay, what is this line? This line when x equals 0, that is number 3. Okay, that here, negative 3. And the number 3, what happened to this? And that, and the slope is negative 1. Can you see that? The slope is negative 1. So that is mean run 1, go down 1. So that, but this here. So that you have a 2 point. Okay, so that please, this means that here you have when you indicate that, you graph very well. You write this. This line is the line fx equal negative x. I need this point to show that. Okay, and another point here, if you like, or you can indicate this point to see that you graph correctly when y equals 0. Okay, that is mean that okay now you need to, that is negative 3 too. This means I need 2 points. Okay, that's how you graph the function. What? Okay, please indicate that. Okay, now those value you need to indicate to see that okay you graph correctly this line. If you graph correctly this line, it means that you need 2 points. This point and this point. You have to point out those points. To graph this, you need to know this. Okay, that. Okay, so this is mean that this line is x equal negative 5. Do you understand? Okay, that's the way I like you present. Okay, do not explain much. And once more, you say that you can enter by the graphing calculator to see that. Okay, number 3. Do you have any question to now?
So for this one, you that is open, right? That's an open circle.
Yeah, that you see that you have a hole.
Yeah.
This black.
Yeah.
So you would like us to label that one x equals negative 5?
Here, you need, if that, okay now, this x negative 5, so that, for example, that when you look on this graph, you can see that this is not a continuous function. You see that here, because from here, yeah, a jump. Okay, that's why we need the graph.
Yeah. But what he was asking was, you want us to identify this line is for the function.
Exactly, that's that here, this line. Okay, so that we use this means that from everywhere until x equal 1, stop. And here it means from 1 go to infinity.
And there should be an arrow, right, on that.
Yes, very good. If you like, you can put this arrow here, and you can put this arrow here, if you like. Okay. Okay. You see that now, number 3. They ask you determine if the function is even, odd, or neither. Number 3. Okay, that is a graph. Okay, number 3. Determine if the function is even, odd, or either. Okay, you know that if you change the sign of x, the fx change the sign. Okay, that is we have the odd function. If we change the sign of x, f the same, this means that we have even function. If we change the sign of x and we see something, we do not have the two reverse form, we call neither. Now, that's why, okay, now, when they give you the function fx equal 6x to the 5th plus 4x cubed. Now, solution, you see that. Now, what I mean, I said I change the sign of x. Okay, now this fx, I change f of negative x. What is f of negative x? F negative x is 6 negative x to the 5th. And plus 4 times x negative x 2 cubed. Look at that. If you, this means that I change the sign of x. Okay, if I change the sign of x, what do we have? If you do that, we have negative 6x to the 5th, because 5 times. And here, negative 4 times x cubed. And that interesting here, you can put all negative out. But what is this? x5 plus x cubed. Okay, if you write this way, what happened? This is f of x. Okay, you see that? Now, when you change the sign of x, the whole fx change the sign. If you write this way, you conclude right away the function is odd. Okay, so that you can answer. Okay, fx equal 6x squared, 6x cubed plus 4x x to the 5th is okay, odd function. Do you remember this?
Number 4.
Oh, 4. Okay, that because only 4 we can write this. Okay. That's why you see that now you take derivative of both the side. Okay, this means what? So that you take derivative of both the sides, means that now they ask you to take derivative of dy of dx. Okay, now this means that now you have a d of dx over this group, and here you have also d over dx over this group. What is this group? It's the number 5. Okay, this number 5. And this is xy minus 3x plus 7y. You see?
Yeah.
But what does it mean? It means that here you take derivative with x is a variable, the other you consider is a number. So that now look at this group. You see that, oh, only x is variable. So that here your y. The same as you take derivative of 3x Okay, that's number 3. Because y is a number, does not change. Now here, okay, you take this derivative 3x, number 3. Now, y. This means that this is you have to take derivative, you put this d over 7y over dx. And this 0. Because that's number, constant. You take derivative, that's 0. Okay, now look at this. That's number, you can move out. You have a 7 dy over dx. And what is this? Y minus 3 plus equals 0. Now, they ask you dy dx.
Why did you lose the x dy over dx? Shouldn't x and y use the product rule and you do x? It's y plus x dy over dx for that xy.
Okay, now when you take derivative with respect to x, this means that anything not x you consider as number. Okay, but be careful one thing. Okay, now this means what is the other thing? This means that okay now first okay you need to respect another rules. This means that be careful because here that yes. That's the product rule. Okay, now this means that first I need to explain you more first, because that is not a real constant,
right.
But that is a function. If it's a function, you need to use the product rule. Okay, and now first of all you consider this a function for a constant first, and after we work together. Okay, now that's very interesting. Okay, so that now you try, this is a product of two functions. Okay, and this is x. Okay, now. So that this is, you see that here right away, that's a function. But now is the product of two functions. If the product of two functions, okay, now you need to use the rules. What is the rule of product of two functions? Okay, now. Okay, now if you have the function of f times g, so that if you take derivative, okay, it means that you take derivative of the first function times the second function, okay, plus, okay, you keep the first function, you take derivative of a second function. Okay, that's the formula of a product here. Be careful with this. You see that here is the product. Okay, so that be careful of this. That here, the key is here. Okay, now, so that now first you take derivative of this, dx, that's number 1. Okay, now the first function, so that you have this. Okay, so if you use that formula, you have this first one and y only. And the second one, you have what? Okay, you keep this. Okay, x, you keep this. And here, now the second is dy over dx. Okay? And now, you see that here, you need to group the same. Okay, now here, it means that here, if you look this, you have this 7. This is a negative 3. This is, okay, y. Okay, so that I like to make dy of dx. That is 7. And this is, can I write this? X plus 7. Okay? This and this. And the other side is a y, negative y plus 3. Okay, so that at the end, okay, what we are asked is a dy or dx. Okay, dy dx is a negative y plus 3 over x plus 7. Okay, that is our final answer. Let us solve the problem. Suppose that the dollar cost of the food producing x radius is cx equal 800 plus 40x minus 210x squared. Find the maximum cost, okay, when 40 radio are produced. Okay, what are marginal costs? The marginal cost is mean that the cost of producing only one more units. But that, when you produce one more unit, that different everywhere. If you produce 5 units, you need to produce one more unit. It means that at 6 units, it's different with already we produce 500 units and you like to produce one more. Okay, but what is mean the marginal cost? You have the function of the cost. So the marginal cost is the derivative. Okay, that's only. But here, they ask you find the derivative at 40, at x equals 40. Okay, so that you look at your friend, you see, okay, find the derivative for the marginal cost. Okay, you see here? Okay, that. This means, okay, how to present this? Okay, now, okay. For example, okay, that number 34. That's it, 34. What is number? That's 30. No, 34. Yeah. So that if you like to present this, okay, you need not to number 34. Number 34, they said that, okay, find the marginal cost. You can answer that. The marginal cost. The marginal cost. Okay, you can write right away. The marginal cost is yes. C prime of x. You can write right away that. Okay, C prime x. Okay. You can write this equal, okay, 800. Okay, you rewrite the function plus 40x minus 210x squared. Oh, okay, you write this. It means that you take, now if you take this is constant, so that's 0. That is a 40. You can write for me that. Below that, you need not to write so many things. Okay, and this is, okay, 2 times. If you like, okay, if not, 2 times of, okay? Can you understand that? Okay, that is the maximum cost. Okay, equal C prime x equal 40 minus become plus. Okay. No, that is 2 times. No, that's we need not to write this. Okay, because that's negative. Okay, that's the negative. 40 minus 0.4x. Okay, now the question is find marginal cost when 40 radio are produced. Okay, now C prime at 40 equal 40 minus. Okay, that's our answer. Okay, now if you like, okay, we can say that to precise at x equal 40, you plug in this. At x equal 40, it means that here this is the formula for any x, but that is the value when x equal 40. So that you have C prime 40 equal what? 40 minus what? $16. So that C prime 40 equal 24. Okay. We ask, okay, is, okay, you can all you write it. This means that F over 9 minus F over 1 all divided by 9 minus 1. Okay, that is okay, the average of change. Okay, that. And after that you can plug in. Very good. That's a very good plug in. Okay, that is mean that now you have, okay, now one of the thing here, you see that here you can plug in this 9 square plus 7 times 9 minus, okay, you can make that is a one group, and this is a 1 square, minus 7 times 1, okay, that, all divided by 8, okay, that, and you see that here, you know that the way I write, if you look on my presentation, I like to make that all on line up, so that make you check after easily. Okay, you know where from. Okay, so that this is 81 minus 72, that number minus 1 minus 7, all over 8. Okay, so...
Wait, 7 times 9 is 63.
Oh, 63.
Yeah.
Okay, that. So that you have here is 12. Okay, 12 plus.
I think you switch the
What?
subtract the formation.
Plus. Oh, the question is plus. Oh, the function, that is a plus too. That's plus. Okay, so this not that plus. So that this is a not, this is 144, and minus 9, minus 8 over 8. Okay, the same. Okay, that's good. So that you have 136 over 8. Okay, so that you can have the answer here. Okay, the answer is 17. Okay? That. Okay, so that you can write solution. They said that if you have any function, to make that easier, so that you can write this function come back as x belonging, when you change x, you change another value f(x) equal y solution. You write, first you write this, y equal x cubed plus 3. And we call that interchange the variable. This means that interchange x into y and y into x. So that you have this function, okay, that is x equal y cubed plus 3. And after having interchanged this, you solve for y. Okay, now solve for y.
The function is plus 5.
Oh, plus 5? Okay, so that we change plus 5. Thank you. Okay. If the function change for y, if you change for y, so the solve for y, you have y cubed equal x minus 5. So that if shown for y, so that y equal cubic root of x minus 5. And now, only substitute y by the f inverse. Okay. Now it means that, okay, the inverse function is, okay, now you can write this negative. Instead of writing y, now the function equal cube root of x minus 5. Okay? If you plug in infinity, you have a infinity over infinity, you cannot. So that you need to change, but you still always have a x approach infinity. Okay, if you write that, that's totally wrong. Okay, so that please, okay, you can write this. You use x out. And you have this is 6 plus 1 of x. And this is x out. A minus 7 of x. Okay, be careful the presentation. That is not. Okay. And now you know that when x approach infinity, it's not infinity. Approach only. So that this x is a number, any number. But it's not infinity because that's only approaching. So that concretely, that is a number. And because this number, you can cancel out. Oh, that okay now. This means that will become limit of x approach infinity of x6 plus 1 of x over a 7x. That. You have to write correctly. And now, okay, when you plug in, it's okay. Now, because when x approach infinity, that's its number always 6, that's always 8. That is a 0. That is 0. And now, when you plug in, you are not stuck. That's why when you hear, okay, that now you can write a number 6 plus 0. That. When that's the limit. And here, now you can a minus 0. That. Okay, you see that? When you write too fast, okay, especially here, that's not correct. Okay, from this step to this step, that's wrong. Because you know that this limit is not this. Okay, be careful the symbol.
So how should we write it then?
Here, you write. You see that here, how I write. The difference of the two. From here to here, that's still limit. I do not change anything.
The limit stays in.
Okay, you see that why. When they jump this limit, that's not correct. That's why I said that, okay, to see that, okay, the presentation say that you understand deeply or shall. Okay.
Wait, so we're not allowed to do the exponent rule where like if the exponent of the bottom and the top are the same, then it's just we divide the coefficients?
So that, okay, please. So that I will explain. Okay, now. Just try. No, that's okay. Thank you. Go. That's why. Go to the board. So that we learn. And now from this, you can answer here. Please, Jolene. Okay, so that you answer here. That is very clear here. That is what they are asked you. And the answer is 6 over 8. But be careful. Simplify 3 over 4. Okay? Right next to that. Okay, so that 3 to the 4. It's not only the review, but also and F inverse. Okay, now if you have this, you take the composition of F inverse. That. Or you take inverse. Okay, that. But we have the function fx equal a to the x and fx equal log base a of x. They are two inverse functions. Okay, fx and okay, now I call this gx are okay two inverse function of each other. Okay, if you call one is fx, the other will be inverse. If you call this is original, that's inverse. This means what? This means that if you call fx equal a to the x, so the inverse is log base a of x. What this mean? This means that if you combine both together, it means that you have the log. Okay, now you take the log, but that the function a to the x, so that it means that x, or you exponent, but this is a function log. That's also x. That's a property. Okay, so that here you have okay now. A is number 2. Log the same base number 2, number 7. That is become number 7. And this is 6. Okay, the same base 3. Okay, so that here you have a. Okay, that's very good. That's excellent. Okay, but you know that here I know that this may come from the other country. You need not, because I don't think that in the United States they like this symbol much. No. This is very popular in many countries. But in the United States, please, okay, now, as I explained, please use this. If you have a 2 locker, you see that? Be careful, you have to write this. Only when you write down, you can see that. Okay, log base 2, that's the same. Over number 7. That plus 6. Log base 6 over number 3. Equal 8. Log base 8 number x. Okay, now you see that here the same, use this property, that is 7, that is 3 equal x, so that x equal 10. Okay, answer. Okay, or future price. Future price equal present price. Present price. Okay, you multiply to 1 plus inflation rate. You have to go?
Yeah.
Okay, we need to discuss some.
Yeah.
Okay, so we discuss first and I continue this.
Oh, okay, if you want to.
You know that, okay, now I like to stop here. This means that this is, okay, now.
Yeah, why don't you finish the problem first? You can finish the problem first.
Okay, so that, okay, future price equal present price plus, that is inflation rate plus 1 plus R. Okay, that is inflation rate. Okay, and here, that they said that, okay, now, the future price, they said that how long will it take for price double? This means that now you have 2 times, because this double this is 2 times. Okay, now, and they said that if this is 1 plus, okay, now, time t, okay, be careful this, okay. Now 1 plus, that is 5%. I think 5% t, how long? Okay, you need to use this formula. Okay. And if you use that, if you put that, because they like the future price double, it means that you can consider this is number 1. And so that you use this, you have, that is each year. So that you, how to isolate the t. You isolate the t by using the log. Any log. So that you have log number 2. Here equal log. Okay, now you can write this 105. Okay, to the t. Okay, you take log both sides. And after that, okay, how? Okay, you use the rule t. You must move out. And this is log 2. And so that you know number t is a log 2 divided by log over 105. Okay. But you know that this, I don't know, that the presentation is very weird here. Do you understand? You understand this? Okay, you see that here. Okay. That is what I total price. This means future price. That, okay, the number of year, okay, number of year. That is the future price equal the present price and action year that increasing by this formula. Now they like, that is a question number 6. Okay, the club called the coastline mathematics club. Okay, that's official. Okay, CMC. Okay, that means coastline
Club, okay.
mathematics club.
So we have Alex, right? Well, it's just, I don't really care about this. It's just Alex.
Okay, club only. Okay. Okay.
Alex. I didn't catch the other names.
Abraham.
Abraham?
Abraham.
If I spell it wrong, let me know.
Yeah.
And then Leo, or
Leo.
Chris, I go by, there isn't.
Sorry?
Leo or Chris, I go by, I didn't.
I'm gonna put Leo.
Number of item. Okay, that is a number of item. Number of item. Okay. In terms of that is a initial. Okay, that is a number of initial. I represent the initial. Okay, population. Okay. Now, it means that now at the beginning you have the number population is I. And after t years, that increasing by this formula, it means that number, it means that a number, okay, you can say that number of population at time t. You understand? The difference here is at the beginning, and that is at time t. So that k is a rate of increasing. Okay, that is increasing rate. See that here. Now k is a grow constant. Okay, now increasing. Okay, is grow constant. Okay, grow constant. Okay, that. They ask you this, how long will it take for the population of certain country to double? If now it's double, it means that now from the beginning you have I, this is 2I, double. So that if you work the same, so that you have a 2 equal E to the KT. Okay, that is the time to double the initial. Now if you like to find the T, they said that how long will it take the population of certain country to double if its annual growth rate is 2 and 3. So that you have a 2 equal E. This means here, 2 and 3%. This means that. It's okay, Solid? And you forget this formula. Okay. It's okay, Chris?
Where are you getting the 2 from? I'm kind of confused.
It means that, okay, if you, it's where? It means that if you got 2I. Because they said that you need to find the double.
Oh, okay.
That's why we have put I, so that you cancel out I both the side.
Okay.
Okay, that's why. But now, if they ask you, now I need three times. Or I need, usually, they give you everything. They ask you at the certain year, what is the amount. But usually they like to find when the number is double. And now if you have this, how to find t alone? Okay, now you take a natural log both sides. If you take a natural log, okay, you see that the same natural log, it means that you kill this, that become only 0.023t. It means that a log. Okay, now this means that you have first you move this. Okay, now. Okay, here, that. So that is a log of a 2. And so that t is a log, natural log, divided by, okay, that's number of year, the t. 5x over x. Okay, now how we use that? You know that we have, okay, now we know that here. Limit of a sine of x over x is x approach 0 is a number 1. Okay, that we know only this formula. Or, you know that, okay, now, limit of a sine of a u over u as u approach 0, that's also number 1. You know that you say that x or u. Now please change this value. Okay, now this is phi x. Now you see that. Okay, now you write this. You can write this limit of x as x approach 0. Now look, you have a sine of phi x over. Okay, now if you like to have phi x here, you need to multiply phi here, phi above and phi below. Now it means that you multiply phi above and phi below. And now, the interesting thing is here, x approach 0, so that phi x also approach 0. So that you write this as a limit. Okay, number 5 you go out of sine over phi x over phi x as a phi x approach 0. You know that if x approach 0, phi x also approach 0. But that you can substitute by number 1, phi times 1, because of that. But you need not, okay, that I explain only. Okay, so that you don't have this. Why? Now from here to here, another step. But okay, you have the same answer, but if you show this, it means that you don't understand. You have the answer, but the presentation. Okay, now to be fair, okay, now in every class I apply the grading scale. If you have the answer, I don't know where you got the answer, I give you half point first. And if I come back to see how you reach to that answer, you get half of the point. Okay? So that to make sure, okay, you have half point, okay, try to find the answer. But that is not correct one. Okay? Do you understand this? Okay, this means that now to see, okay, to use that, using. Okay, I like to use using limit of sine of u over u as u approach 0 equal number 1. Okay, that's what I like. That. 35. Y equals 7 over x plus 3 second x. Okay, now we say that y prime, you write this, is 7 over x plus 3 second of x, okay, prime. Okay, now it means that you can apply directly. This means that this negative 1. Okay, so that you should, that is a take derivative of this negative 1. Okay, that. And this you multiply with 7. Okay, that. So that you have negative 7. Okay, negative 7 or 1 over x squared. And this is 3 times is 3 times. Okay, and the idea of second is 10. Okay, is why this way? Why the x term? The sum rules. Okay, use the quotient rule of the first term. Then use the product rule for the second one. Okay, that is 3. Okay, 35. Okay, so that you can write right away 10. Second x. but because you have a derivative second. Any question? You see that those you can write on your cheat sheet the formula if you do not remember. Okay. Okay, so that we move on with the other question. Okay, now go he do the 17. Have we done the 17? Okay, what is 17? But you know that I explained the mistake from your friend, but if you have any question, okay, I can help you with that. Okay, now, if you look at the paper 17, okay, what is 17? Okay, the question 17. You have, okay, they give you fx, okay, that is fx equal negative 4x plus 2. Now, they ask you, okay, evaluate f, the limit is x approach 0 of f x plus h plus, okay, minus, okay, fx 1 over x, okay, f x equal a. Okay, so that you substitute that here. Okay, now you have a limit. Okay, the same, x approach 0. You rewrite this. Limit that f of x, the same as you see that if you substitute by the star, for example, that will become negative 4 times of x plus h. You see that here? Plus 2. Okay, that's the first group. Minus, okay, minus. This is a negative 4x plus 2. Okay, that all above x, that. Okay, now you see that to make that, you can write this. Evaluate. You can have the formula, and after you plug in the x value, it's okay. Or you can plug in right away, it's okay. But okay, now limit of this equal what? If you do that, you will see that this you develop, you have a limit. Be careful, the limit of x approach 0 over that is a negative 4x minus 4h. Okay, here plus 2. Okay, this is the first group. You minus, okay, it means that you negative 4x plus 2. Okay, now all divided by h. And okay, now it means that, okay, now you can write this, that if you subtract this, and here, okay, this you subtract this. Okay, and now you see that above that you will have a limit of x approach 0. That above you have only negative 4h, below you have only h. So that you write this is limit is x approach 0 of negative 4. That. Be careful, you can cancel out this only x approach 0. If x equals 0, you cannot cancel out. And that is a constant, so that you answer this is negative 4.